Right, so we're going to see about getting these coplanar now, which means that they're both on the same axis. So when we took it apart, we could slide paper underneath at the middle, but not under the edges. So we want to try and have everything as smooth as we can. In the previous video, we can see that the beds were flat by themselves. However, once you start putting a larger straight edge among the both of them, then it meant that you could actually slide a card underneath, but not at the ends. And that means that there was a dip, and so the beds were not coplanar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just rotate the cutters so they're not in the way, and I'm not going to cut my fingers on them. So those of you who watched the first episode of this will know that I was a little bit concerned because I didn't really understand what this little handle did, because allegedly you should be able to tighten up on the back and it would stop this table from moving. Now this, I think, is a fairly significant manufacturing issue, because let's just pop this back into place for a moment. And with that really tight, so the back side of basically the opposite of this is tight as it goes. Now, this side isn't moving, but can you see that right there, that is still moving? So it means that this lock doesn't lock. It doesn't lock anything. So yeah, that's a thing. But what we are going to do is we're going to have this so it goes all the way up. And I'm going to leave the lock off it actually for the time being, so we can loosen this so it's sort of maximum jointing cut depth, but I'm going to tighten it up so we have that proper up to the top. That's as far up as it goes, and that should mean that if I take this one and just, because there is a very slight amount of adjustment in it, I don't know if you can see that, but a very slight amount of adjustment there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this level. Thanks Dad, I borrowed this off my father, and we'll try and get this one to make sure that it's as level as it can be on here. What we did before was use this bit of card, and that could come through the bottom there. Now at this point it can't get through anywhere along there, so that's good, we like that. So now let's see if we can, I mean it's in the right place. Oh, a little bit off there, and it's loose on the end. Let me change the camera angle. So what we did with the this bit of card is before we managed to pop it through all the way under here, and it was just sliding under because the ends were higher than the middle of this machine. So now this one is loose, and so the card will not go under any of that. So it shows that this bed is flat, which is a good thing. However, we've got to have a look at this other bed so we can tighten it up. So over on this side we can see, because I've yet to tighten up these on both the front and the back of the machine, we have got a little bit of movement there. So at the moment the card actually comes under on the outside and not so much on the inside. So what we need to do is need to lift that up on the outside just a touch, and now it's not going anywhere at all. So let's just try and tighten the front of this up and the back. It doesn't need much to adjust it. It only needs a tiny amount. That seems to be pretty marvellous now. The card cannot get in any of that now. So we've definitely got an improvement on how it was before, but what we've got to do is try and tighten these up in such a way that it doesn't upset this bed that we want to keep exactly where it is. The fact that I'm using a level on here is completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, because if your floor isn't level or what is on isn't level, this isn't going to that's not going to help. So what I've done is just use this card as a way of measuring if there's any gappage, and there appears not to be. A tiny amount, but I can't even go all the way through there and there. But that is immeasurably better than it was. I would say that as this is only held on by these 4 bolts at the front and the back there, that it's not the strongest, to be fair, and I think sort of you could knock this and it will take it out of square pretty damn easily, so you do have to be careful with that one. But no, at the moment we've definitely made an improvement. This one, same on the back, and that has seems to have fixed our out of coplanar issue. So here is a manufacturing issue, I think, and that is that I was just tightening up this, I was just tightening up this Allen bolt there to make sure it was exactly where we wanted it, and it seems that we've broken something. Those bits came falling off the back when I was tightening up, so yeah, I think that is the spacer that has to go in there to keep everything together. Just like that, and that is what's broken on the other side. So I'm hoping a washer will do the trick, and then this section here is just the a spacer. Editing Dean here, just to finish off the video and let you know that it all worked out fine. I just didn't record just the final piece of the puzzle, and so it's great that so many people reckon that you cannot change the status of the 2 beds being coplanar, but it turns out you can, and you need very little adjustment to do so. So it works. It's a bit of a shame that you've got to be careful with the old nuts and bolts when you're tightening them up, but the good thing is that it does work. So yeah, if that's a problem with yours, you haven't got to take it back. Just undo those bolts, do them up again a little bit tighter without breaking them. But the washer idea worked. Happy days. Right, the next video will be soundproofing. Can I soundproof or make the horrific noise any better on the Titan thickness planer? You'll have to tune in to find out, but I'll see you very soon. Thanks very much for watching.